Alright, it is spooky month. Good old-fashioned Spooktober. And do you know what that means? Do you know what that means? It means horror movies. Horror movies are like the bread and butter of something scary. And it's also scary that I can't aim. How did I tear through that person? I enjoy horror movies, actually. They are pretty fun to watch. They're a very distinct area of entertainment, and this is not good. You have one health. I totally cheesed that guy. There's a lot of similarities between horror movies, but that's okay, because they're just so great. Oh, I do not like that. Bruh. So when I was little, the idea of watching a horror movie just scared me to death. Like, I couldn't even imagine I couldn't even imagine it. But now that I'm older and I've seen a couple of horror movies, I know that a lot of them are not that scary, to be honest. There are some horror movies that I still don't want to watch today. I never want to watch Saw, ever. That doesn't really seem scary. That just sounds gross. That sounds like 3 hours of me cringing at how gross something is. And I don't really want to do that for 3 hours. Nope, die. Okay, thank you. Nope. Bruh! Imagine! So, as I got older, my appreciation for horror grew. I think it started in elementary school when I began watching creepypastas on YouTube. Don't judge me, okay? I mean, creepypastas, basically, what they are is they're short stories. They're short spooky stories, I should say. And people read them on YouTube and add eerie music in the background, and it's pretty spooky. It's pretty spooky, not gonna lie. It's, yeah. Especially if you're, like, in whatever grade I was in like 5th grade or whatever. I might have even been younger than that. But it was spooky, alrighty? But there's also video game creepypastas, like about cursed video games and whatnot. They're kind of silly. I mean, I do like creepypastas. Some of them are a little bit clickbaity titles. I would not recommend actually going onto the website to read creepypastas, but the website is just like all one big ad, and it's not the best. After a while, I began watching horror movies with my friends. Watching horror movies with friends, that's totally epic. That was bad. Mr. One Heart. There we go. Great aspect of horror movie watching is that horror movies, a lot of them are pretty cheesy. So, if you're not really enjoying the movie, then you can just point out its inconsistencies and cringe. So I got to watch a couple of weird horror movies with friends. One of them was The Turning, and it was a pretty, like, legit horror movie. The end had, like, no resolution, though, so that was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. It just, like, ended, and then that was it. And then another horror movie that I got to watch. Now, this horror movie involved me running away from the bad guys. I'm leaving that in. I've died a lot, buddy. So the cringiest, I guess you could say, horror movie that I've watched is Countdown. By some people's standards, it could be considered cringe. The premise of the horror movie is that there's an app that tells you when you're gonna die. That was a funny thing to make fun of. Nope. If I get killed by a pickaxe, I hate it. There's a funny thing about horror movies is that they have a lot of similarities in them. And I'm going to tell you them now so you can point them out to your friends and be like cool and stuff. Unlike me. So the main similarity that I've seen between horror movies is that the lead is always female. Always female. Even in like Alien, the lead was female. And I just sweep those guys. I feel slightly bad about that. The lead in Pocahontas is female. The lead in The Boy is female. The lead in The Ring is female. The lead in The Turning is female. The lead in... They drank a strength potion. I'm trying to think of other horror movies where the lead is female. Oh, the lead in Countdown is female. Basically, it's a girls' club. It's a girls' club. What's up with that? Actually, it is a pretty cool thing. It's actually partially my favorite part of horror movies. Having an attractive female lead makes a movie a lot easier to watch, even if it is bad. So that's why there is no bad horror movie. I think the reason that they do this is so that there's like a power balance or whatever. She's a female, she can't do anything. And then in the end of the movie, it's changed because she did do something and she beat the bad guy. Sometimes. Sometimes she beats the bad guy. Sometimes she doesn't. But sometimes she does. I thought of another one. In Lights Out, the lead is female. I didn't even think about that. That guy's dead. So the other main similarity that I've seen between horror movies are supporting characters. So generally in a horror movie, this does not apply to every horror movie. This does not apply to Alien, but Alien is like a sci-fi thriller, to be fair, but whatever. Anyways, oh golly, you guys just fight it out, okay? Okay? Generally, there is the boyfriend character, and then there is the little boy or little girl character. Okay? And then this is also another cool aspect of horror movies as well. There's a supportive guy. Sometimes he dies. A lot of the times he dies. But sometimes he doesn't die. The boyfriend didn't die in Lights Out. And the boyfriend was a good guy. Actually, the Lights Out... So the boyfriend in Lights Out, he's a really good guy. And he lives. He survives. Actually, everybody survives. Except for the crazy mom. I just spoiled that movie. Whoops! And the bad person. And the bad person dies as well. In Countdown, the boyfriend dies. He's not really technically boyfriend, but he dies. And in that movie, there is a younger, like, there's always, like, a little boy or a little girl. And sometimes they're a little bit older. Like, in Countdown, the little girl was, like, a teenager. But it's always an older female protecting a younger sibling or child in the case of The Ring. And in The Ring, the boyfriend dies. And in what's another movie? What's another movie? Oh, you just got over there. Oh! I just died. In The Turning, the little girl is the little girl, I guess you could say. But The Turning is actually a little bit of an outlier because it's more of a psychological thriller. I didn't just die. I'm trying to think of another example. The moral of the story is spooky things are spooky. The spooky stuff actually comes out of YouTube. Not gonna lie, because the setting, when you're watching YouTube, you're always watching YouTube alone. I suppose that you could watch a horror movie alone, but normally when you're watching a horror movie, I feel like you're like in a theater. But when you're watching YouTube alone at night in the dark, and you're watching Hi, I'm Mary Mary, it's scary as balls. I have not been able to watch that because it was too scary for me. I could not watch that. Marble Hornets is another example. I was able to watch that. Some people just give up because that one is a little bit long. There's a lot of spooky stuff on YouTube that's just terrifying as balls. I sort of recommend you go check it out. Are we actually going to get a good game when I'm like doing my outro? Never mind. Never mind. This has been quality content. I'm bad at Skywars. My hair is just... I don't know if... Do you like it? Do you like it? Is it schmexy? Got the Justin Bieber 2011 look. Or 12. Or whatever that year was. Subscribe. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it!